Batgirl, 2022. So let's start with the biggest one. Most of you probably know this already. Batgirl. With a $19 million budget, Leslie Grace suited up as Barbara Gordon, Michael Keaton returned as Batman once again. If I'm not mistaken, he already filmed The Flash at this point. Poor guy, bro. Poor guy. And Brendan Fraser was set to deliver a fiery villain turned as Firefly. The film was nearly complete when Warner Brothers decided to scrap the film. Online, the narrative was simple. Batgirl was too woke. A Latina Batgirl, a diverse cast, and a modernized storytelling made it an easy punching bag for culture war critics. But the real reason? Well, the executives, bro. It's them. Following the Warner Discovery merger, the studio was looking to cut costs, reset the DC brand, and claim a massive tax write-off by shelving projects midstream. Executives claimed the film didn't fit the new theatrical first strategy. They're basically dewoking DC at this moment, guys. Same with Disney. So fans will debate forever whether Batgirl was a missed opportunity or a disaster waiting to happen. But one thing's for sure, it didn't die because it was woke. It died because it was cheaper that way. Wonder Twins, 2022. The cancellation of Wonder Twins feels almost surreal. Warner Brothers was really making a live-action Wonder Twins movie for HBO Max. The purple-clad alien teens who shout,
Wonder Twin powers, activate!
Form of a seagull!
Shape of an ice gondola.
were finally going to headline their own story. Jaina can transform into animals, Zan into water in all its forms. They've always been the Justice League's lovable interns, helpful but never overshadowing the big names. In 2022, production was gearing up with KJ Apa and Isabel May cast as the leads. Then, it was cancelled. Why? Well, officially, the budget had ballooned over to $75 million, far too high for a streaming project. But behind closed doors, insiders linked it to Warner's new leadership and their desire to dewoke the studio. I told you, folks. I told you. Under David Zaslav, projects that didn't scream mainstream blockbuster were axed mercilessly. And Wonder Twins, a quirky, diverse-driven comedy, was one of the first casualties. Resident Evil 2022. So when Netflix announced a live-action Resident Evil series, fans expected a dark, fateful survival horror tale. Instead, they got a teen drama with zombies sprinkled in. Ella Balinska played Jade Wesker, while the late Lance Reddick, rest in peace, reimagined Albert Wesker. Okay? Him. But the problem? Fans didn't want a complete overhaul. They wanted the characters they loved portrayed as they were in the games, facing the monsters we all grew up fearing. The show leaned on political messaging, unlikable characters, and strange recreations of iconic figures.
Evelyn?
Beautiful 180, crazy.
Wesker was rewritten, timelines were messy, and the show felt more like a CW drama than a horror adaptation. Fans around the world, including Japan, the franchise's birthplace if I may add, slammed it for straying so far from its source material. Critics weren't kind either, leaving it with dismal scores. So Netflix cancelled the show after one season. Fans called it a wasted opportunity that damaged Resident Evil's legacy. Why The Last Man? 2021. So this was based on Brian K. Vaughan's award-winning comic. Why The Last Man had all the makings of a thought-provoking hit. In this world, every mammal with the Y chromosome suddenly dies, except for one man. Yorick, alongside with his pet monkey, Ampersand. Yorick may hold the key to humanity's survival. It's a brilliant premise, but the execution? Viewers found it both confusing and disappointing. Yorick came across not as a reluctant hero but as a whiny, immature millennial, as woke and woefully immature as any right-winger's nightmare. That's from a critic. Not me. The adaptation also leaned into gender politics and added a trans character, Sam, which was intended as a fresh representation but often felt shoehorned into the apocalyptic tone. Critics and fans alike were let down, calling the show a soap opera set in a wasteland. So with that, ratings plummeted, and the cost of renewing cast contracts became too steep for FX. So they cancelled it. National Treasure Edge of History 2022 to 2023. So Disney tried to revive the National Treasure brand for a younger audience. But Edge of History quickly became one of the most divisive spin-offs in recent memory, with Lisette Oliveira playing as Jess, a dreamer chasing her family's history. The show leaned into themes of identity and heritage. On paper, that sounds like a natural update. In practice, critics say it was one of Disney's wokest projects to date. Fans pointed to petty dialogue like a scene where a character calls a professor mansplainer without even hearing him speak.
And what's Professor Mansplainer saying? They're saying her dissertation.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here.
Goodness, a moment so forced that many stopped watching entirely. Critics blasted it as political jabs shoved into a franchise that used to be fun.
Excuse me, but you can't be in here. This is the men's room.
Well, excuse me for not being beholden to binary systems of
The
oppression.
women's room is just down the hall.
You don't want to get me started on the misogynistic placements?
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Combine that with Nicolas Cage's absence, weak writing, and low viewership, and the show never stood a chance. Cancelled after just one season, Edge of History is remembered less as a treasure hunt and more as another Disney misstep buried under its own messaging. Willow, 2022. When Lucasfilm brought back Willow in 2022, fans of the original 1988 movie were ecstatic. But by episode 2, many were already cringing. The biggest complaint? It didn't feel like Willow at all. The dialogue sounded like it was lifted from a modern teen drama, with characters using slang that ripped viewers out of the fantasy world. The casting of Kit and Elora didn't land. Emotional arcs fell flat, and the show often felt like a CW knockoff. Some argued that Kit's lesbian romance was a check-the-box decision. Representation without depth. But the larger issue wasn't identity politics. It was the writing. Critics called it dreadful and embarrassing, with characters acting out of place in a world that used to feel magical. So Disney announced the series was going on hiatus, but later quietly removed it from Disney Plus altogether during a content purge. That's nice, Disney. Sneaky, but nice. Batwoman, 2019 to 2022. Still have to include it, guys. Still have to include it because there's only few shows that felt the wrath of online backlash like Batwoman. The trailer alone sparked outrage. Lines like,
I need you to fix his suit.
The suit is literal perfection.
It will be. When it fits a woman.
and
I'm not about to let a man take credit for a woman's work.
Come on, man.
were branded as man-hating woke feminism. Who even wrote this? And the trailer felt like it was begging for controversy. And when Ruby Rose left after one season, Javicia Leslie stepped in as the first black queer Batwoman on TV. A milestone moment. But the problems ran deeper than backlash. Fans really complained of clunky writing, nonsensical plots, weak action, and wooden acting. By season 3, ratings had fallen off dramatically. Then came the CW's ownership change. The network slashed nearly half its scripted shows, with superhero dramas at the top of the chopping block. And Batwoman was gone. You could say that Batwoman was cancelled for being woke, or maybe not, but it was definitely cancelled because nobody was watching Gotham Knights. 2023. So if Batwoman was controversial, Gotham Knights was ridiculed from the moment its trailer dropped. This was supposed to be a Batman series, except Batman is dead in the first episode. Instead, a group of diverse teenagers picks up the mantle, including Carrie Kelly, who was both gender and race swapped for the show. Fans immediately assumed it was a parody, but when the show aired, the reality was worse. The writing was mocked relentlessly, with scenes like Harvey Dent lecturing about dead naming during a murder investigation.
Because your birth certificate says you were born.
Don't use his dead name.
Fine. I got another dead name for him. Bruce Wayne.
Ford. Take a walk.
Critics called it laughable, audiences tuned out, and ratings collapsed. The pilot opened at just over 600,000 viewers, but by episode 2, it dropped to 428,000 viewers. That's already cancellation territory, folks. For fans, Gotham Knights wasn't a Gotham story at all. It felt like another CW teen soap with superhero branding slapped on top. That's 8 minutes. Thank you for watching. Like the video, and don't forget to subscribe for more flops.